Hi, this is Chuck and Joe at the Freedom Fighters Podcast and Rumble. Today's March 16th, 2026. And boy, do I have a show for you guys today. Can't wait to get into it. But first, I'm going to ask you, if you could, for me, to hit that like and subscribe button. Really does help our show more than you will ever know. Like to get it out farther into everyone. So if you would do me that great honor, hit that like, hit that subscribe. It only takes a minute. Doesn't cost a thing. Also, all comments can be made in the comment section below or email us at thefreedomfighterspodcast@gmail.com. Also, my last little bit here before we get started, all the facts that Chuck and I do are checked before we report them to you. We also list all of that in the descriptions below for where we find our sources. Okay, everyone, let's get started. I want to bring to you something that's really deep in my heart, and you guys all know this if you've been listening to the Freedom Fighters podcast for a while now. And I'm sorry we took off for the last couple of weeks. I went through a nasty little disease called shingles, and it's kind of bothered my eyes. So we're back now and ready to go. During this time, I've been watching a lot of TV, obviously, and listening to the news and still looking up stories and finding sources. You all know that I am very much for the SAVE Act. Well, it turns out Senator Thune isn't. He's a Senate majority leader, or excuse me, the Senate minority leader. And he is doing a terrible job, as I've reported to you guys before. The polls in America are showing for the SAVE Act, 71% of Democrats are for it, 95% of Republicans are for it. And, that puts us at a what? About 84% total? What are you doing, Thune? Everyone, we need to get on him. We need to call his office, tell him that as an American, you want the SAVE Act to go through. And the SAVE Act is not unconstitutional. All it does is require that you show an ID to vote and that you have to prove your citizenship. People who say it's unconstitutional, well, I say you're not Americans then, are you? True Americans. Because we have to show ID even for cigarettes today. Why shouldn't we have to show them to vote? And why shouldn't we have to prove that we're citizens of the United States if you're getting our welfare system, if you're getting our public housing assistance, yada, yada? We pay the taxes. We've paid them all our lives. And I know everyone agrees with me out there. Excuse me. Everyone agrees with me out there that knows anything about the SAVE Act. And if you don't, well, you need to get on it because it's the only way to save America, guys. There's so much coming up that you don't even know about with voter fraud from the other side. And this is not hearsay, folks. The president is pushing for blue states to go through and have everything audited because the DOJ has now found that all the proof for the cheating that I've been teaching you about for the last many months, things that I've brought to you with even some of my very first podcasts, including the involvement of Venezuela, China, etc. We'll go through that again, like I told you, at a different time. But now I want to finish with this. Where I got those percentages was from Pew Research Center. That was shown on CBS TV by the networks, And we are not paid influencers. According to Thune, he got on TV and said to everyone that people that are for the SAVE Act are being pushed to call him and being pushed to vote for the Save America Act because of influencers. And that obviously we Americans are not smart enough to go in, get an ID, and to show our citizenship to vote. Come on, Thune. What are you doing? I've come up with a new name for you. Sat and thought, what could I call you? You know what I've came up with? Thune Benedict Arnold. That's what you are. You are Thunedict Arnold to me now, Mr. Thune. I give you no respect, Thunedict. In fact, there's a way to get you out in the minority leadership. There's a way to do that. We checked into it. Yes, we have. And according to Mike Morris, who's another commentator, all we have to do, well, all the Senate has to do, because we voted them in, right, is come up with 5 senators. And it's called the no confidence vote. They can vote him out of that seat and put a new person in. So, Sir Thunedict, if you're not going to do what the American people need, then we need those senators to step up. And I know that they're well aware that they can do this, the no confidence vote, and get you out. That's right, out. You're weak. Being pushed by other rhino Republicans, and yes, we have them. It isn't just the left that has crazies. Let's face it. We've got some rhino crazies on the Republican side. And Thune is a protege of one, Mitch McConnell. And we all know that Mitch McConnell was against anything that President Trump put out there, didn't matter what, and has voted against the American people. You know, he's a senator from Kentucky, has voted against the American people for years now. Mitch McConnell, you are with the deep state, and we figured you out. And Thune, you are his protege. We want you out. And yes, I'm inviting all Americans to help me help us. Senator Mike Lee, who is definitely on our side, said it best. President Trump even echoed it. We need Thune out. Now I say, you get with it, you spineless piece of garbage. Put the Save America Act to a vote. Put the filibuster out there. We can do the zombie filibuster, whatever one you want to do. Heck, it's getting used on us now, isn't it, by the Democrats? Something similar to it anyway. The American people want voter ID. Almost 85% of all Americans want voter ID. Stop hiding behind Mitch McConnell. We know he's not even running his office. His staff is. He's not smart enough to even get up to the podium and talk anymore. Well, let me change that. His brain isn't there to do that. He's another Biden. Yeah, that's right. You guys bitched about Biden being in there, right? And people taking over and doing his thing. Well, Republicans, it's time to call out Mitch McConnell in his office. And I'm pretty sure that you all already know that his staff is running his office, which in no way should be allowed because we in no way have voted them in. That makes you all Thunedict traitors, doesn't it? Okay, well, the American people want you out. You're putting us last. And you, sir, I'm calling you out, are a traitor. You can reach Thune at his office at 202-224-2321, which will be up in this corner, and you'll be able to see it. Call him. Let him know that we want the SAVE Act put in and that we want the filibuster on the floor, that it's America at stake here, or we will vote him out. Thank you, America. And you can call numerous times, however many times you can call. Let's do it. Let's hit it hard. All right, let's get on to the next story. Enough about Thunedict. Now I want to tell you about Virginia. Virginia, this is for you. If you're from the state of Virginia, pay close attention. Virginia, everyone, decided to vote Democrats in. That's right, they wanted Democrats in. Wanted the Republicans out. Well, Virginia, you got what you asked for, didn't you? Oh, wait. No, you didn't. You thought voting for there's a good old Democrats was going to bring home what you wanted, didn't you? But how's that worked out for you? America, you need to pay attention to Virginia, a great old state of Virginia. This is what their new laws are about. The newest one, voters are outraged. That's right. It's breaking news. The Democrats are making laws for the people of Virginia, but not for the people making the laws. The General Assembly of the state of Virginia, these laws do not apply to. Specifically, Virginia voters are outraged after Democrats vote to exempt themselves from new gun control measures they're imposing on Virginians. So, Virginia, guns are bad for you, according to the Democrats, right? Yeah, no guns. However, they're keeping them, right? Well, what do we call that in America? We call that hypocrites. A bunch of damn hypocrites are running your government, Virginia. Get smart and get them out. And pay attention, America. Virginia's showing us what it's like to bring the Democrats back into power. Now, how critical is it for them to say, yes, we don't want gun control? You say it's critical, right? Critical. No one should have guns. But lo and behold, the people in power should have guns, specifically the Democrats. So good luck out there. If there is a revolution in America, or if we are invaded like it's starting to look like, or there's World War III, well, Virginia, good luck. You're not going to have any guns that you can use. But you, my friends, started this. You, my friends, have to live with this. And I thank you from the bottom of my heart for showing us what the Democrats truly do and who they truly are. Way to go, Virginia. We'll be watching you. Moving on. We are now looking at Trump and what's going on in Iran. Now, I'm not going to go over everything. I'm not going to stupefy my audience any more than we've already been stupefied. What I am going to bring to you are some facts. Okay. Trump is urging all allies to take their ships into the Strait of Hormuz. Now, the Strait of Hormuz, for those of you that don't know, is a little island right off Iran. We'll try to show you that if we can bring it to you. But anyway, this little strait brings almost half of the world's oil through it, which makes it a very important port. What they have done is Iran has blocked ships for the last, I don't know, about month going through there. That's what started a bit of the confrontation. Trump told them at the beginning of the war, come to us, sit down at the table, we'll go through this, we'll work this out. Their answer was no. The old Ayatollah, who is now deceased, Ali Ayatollah, who is now deceased, wouldn't give, not even an inch. He chose to massacre 50,000 people. That's right, 50,000. Numbers keep going up. Hung them, for those of you who don't know, by cranes in mass groups, and buried them in mass groups, and refused to give their bodies back for burial. That's what Ali Khamenei did. That's Islam radicals. That's right, I said it. Islamic radicals. Because I have many friends that pray to Allah or ally, however you want to pronounce it, Allah, and they're very good people, most of them. But then, like just in Christianity, you have those few that have those extreme values, those extreme, theatrical views. Well, he's put on a lot of theatrics. In fact, he turned it into real, didn't he? 50,000 Iranians killed. They begged Trump to come to Iran. For those of you who watch the fake news. And my friends, it is fake news. Even when Trump's gone and your little Trump syndrome's gone, okay, it still stands. It's fake news. Get with it, ABC, NBC, MSNBC, whoever else is out there. Fox News, I'm calling you out too. The podcasters are the only place, and that's just a few of the podcasters that are telling you the actual truth. And that is the truth. He killed them. The Iranian people were begging, sending to Truth Social their sorrows, their hurts, their pains, their need for Trump to step in and to help them, begging them, willing to give up their lives so that their children and the people after them had a better life. Because this regime in the last 50 years has toppled that number in deaths, not just 50,000. This regime was terrible. Now, back to this, the Strait of Hormuz. It's very important. Trump's called them to the table, to work things out more than a half a dozen times, and they choose not to, which is very sad. Now, he's gone, and we thought, meaning the Ayatollah, he's gone, and we thought maybe we would get a good leader in there, like the prince. His dad was the Ayatollah before the nut job Ali. Okay. His dad was very good. He ran a great country in Iran, democratic freedom for Iranians. And I know most of them remember, not the new generation, but the older generation. And you know what happened when they wanted him to move on? They didn't like him anymore. Let me tell you what he did. He didn't do what this one did. This demonized murderer, Islamic nut that's hung 50,000 people. The old Ayatollah from 50 years ago stepped aside and moved. Had a son. And his son has been willing to come back for years now. And the people want him in. Not the son of the Ali Khomeini. No, they don't want him. And I'm going to tell you a little tidbit about the new Ayatollah, the son, in a minute. You'll get a kick out of that. So stay tuned for that. That's a fun nip at the end. You guys really need to hear that. You want to talk about irony, you want to talk about funny, and you want to talk about hypocritical. You're going to see. But anyway, back to the Hormuz again. We want to open that so that the boats can get through. Trump has called for all of his allies to come and help. Why? 2,500 Marines on foot that Trump sent were working out on land. Okay? Out on the strait itself. And then the allies could get the boats through, while the U.S. protected air and foot space. Well, let me tell you what's happened. Not a one of our allies has shown up. Isn't that funny? All the wars that Trump's ended, and none of those people have came to help. And besides those people, because those are newer friends, let's talk older allies. The European Union was so ticked off at Trump, right? So ticked off at Trump because he started this new team of countries. It's a certain name for it, but I'm sorry, forgive me. I don't have that written down in front of me, but I'll get it to you. But it involves over 30 countries around the world, not just the old allies from World War II in the European Union. Okay? But the European Union is exactly who I want to address. Shame on you. Not one of you has shown up in every war that you have been in. You have hollered for the United States to get in, correct? You have wailed. You have bit, spit, chosen, begged, you name it, for us to help. And what have we always done? We've put on our shields of armor and we've come to protect you. Always had your back. Yeah, I'm talking to Great Britain. I'm talking to London. I'm talking to Scotland. I'm talking to Ireland. In fact, the whole United Kingdom. I'm talking to Germany and France and Austria and whoever else is out there. I don't know all that's in the European Union, but I'm naming some of the major ones. Where are you when we need you? You're not there. That's right. Oh, who figured that out? Yeah, we did. Trump did. And that was a huge mistake because he's seeing who our friends are and who our allies are. And believe me, we wanted out of the European Union all the people in America that know who and what you are as a group, how evil that you truly are with the deep state, and what the United Kingdom has turned into, is particularly London. You know, we see from America too, believe it or not, just because we don't have Cambridge. We have Harvard and Yale. Oh, wait, Harvard has gone, woo, crazy. That shit crazy, I call it. You know, they're following that left side. Even though they get all kinds of money from the government, which they shouldn't. One of the richest schools in the world, buddy with Cambridge there. Harvard shouldn't get a cent from us Americans either, but that's a story for another day. Anyway, you think that the American people aren't smart? Well, honey, we are. We were smart enough to know that you're a bunch of snakes. Now, folks, I could sit here and give you a long list of stories, but I would like you to go to Promethean Action. It's ran by Barbara and Susan. Again, Promethean Action. No, I get no kickbacks from this. In fact, I don't even think they know I'm promoting them. But I have learned so much from these two ladies. They have been in government since before the 1970s and have pushed for reform away from Great Britain since the 70s. They've seen what they have done to us since we have gotten our freedom in 1776. That's right. It goes all the way back, folks. We've never broken arms with Britain. They still run us today. And if you don't believe me, you listen to Barbara and Susan, and I'll bring some stories to my readers and listeners too. However, if you want it explained and explained in long term, these two ladies are the ladies to watch. I learned from them. Okay. You'll see exactly what the European Union is. To finish my story to the European Union, we don't need your help. But I promise you, you will need us before we need you. If I were you, I would get out there and help Trump and help the United States. After all, we fund all of you countries. Not 1 cent is given by any other country in the world to the United States for any kind of charity. We give it all and have done so since World War II. Well, it's time for you guys to get off our backs, ride your own horses. We're tired of carrying you. That's right. I said it. Move on. You'll need us before we need you. That's all I have to say. Yo, you got it. Let's move on, folks. The next thing I want to talk about, well, I was also going to, let me just add this into the last part. Trump did do 3 things over in Iran. I'm just going to point these out real quick. We had our air power where we took out the Ayatollah. He sent in 2,500 Marines on foot to help at the Strait of Hormuz. And folks, I know we said no feet on the ground, but this was needed. We have to finish up what we started for the sake of the world, not just us, for the sake of the world. And if you folks say it's all over oil, we don't need their oil. The United States doesn't need their oil. We have so much oil being sent to us. Venezuela, our own pipeline. We don't need anybody else's, okay? So we're working that out. I know things are a little tough in America, but they will get better, and they are going to get better. And of course, you had to expect that it was going to get a little worse before it got better. Because why? The Democrats fight us at every step, and instead of backing Trump in the Senate, in the House, and you people out here, you like your freedoms in your mouths, right? You like to run them, right? You like to say whatever you want to say. You like to do whatever you want to do, write whatever you want to write. But don't forget, those freedoms are from Americans. They don't have those freedoms in other countries. And you better take that serious. All you younger ones that don't know that, go ahead and wish that communism was here. Socialism. Watch Virginia. Hell, watch New York. That's what you're going to get across the country. And your little whiny bitch asses are going to be in trouble. That's right. You're not going to be able to whine to anybody. You're going to get your head chopped off. In a shot. Okay. If we go into third world status, which is what the deep state wants, so elites can keep getting richer, people, and the middle class falls down with the low class, and we're all out. We do what we're told, when we're told, how we're told, where we're told. Remember that. It's coming. You better be prepared. Look at all the things I'm telling you. Listen to all the things I'm telling you, and go to the places I'm telling you to learn, so you can learn the truth, because there's so many things that I didn't even know, and I'm in my 50s. Okay? Get in there and learn, because history is the best education for anyone. History repeats itself, folks. Okay? So we had to put some on the grounds, and yes, that was to protect the Strait of Hormuz. Let's give our president a break. I know a lot of you don't like hearing that, but I'm saying it. This man goes 24/7. I can't even do that. I think I even could have did that in my 40s. Come on, people. He's giving his on. He sure the hell didn't have to. All right? And if you don't want to, then shut your mouth. Whine somewhere else. Yeah, that's right. A lot of Americans were just tired of hearing it. How about you get out, put your mouth where your hands are, and put it to work, okay? Get out there and make America better instead of sitting back whining about other things you think aren't right. All right? We did. We took over Karg Island. China needs that oil. Russia needs that oil, right? Not us. That's right. We don't really need it. We want it because it'll bring prices down even more, but we don't need it. They do. We even invited China to come over and be one of the allies in to help the boats get through. No one showed up. No, that's because the next part that I was going into is China's doing its own little thing. And I'll just give you this tidbit right now because it fits here. Let's talk about China for a minute. All right. While all this stuff is going on in the world with Iran and Russia and the Ukraine, they're doing their own little thing over here. Taiwan has just reported to us, and it said to the United States, not really sure who they reported it to, DOJ, Trump, somebody up there, that it's detected that large-scale presence of Chinese military aircraft near their country. Well, we all know China wants Taiwan, right? No secret. But here's the problem with that, folks. If Taiwan goes, we go in because we protect Taiwan, right? China is trying to get us into a war secretly, quietly, so that they can begin to finish what they've started. Again, this wraps around to elections, which I'm going to talk about in a minute also. They were involved in the 2020 election. DOJ has proof of it. I've known it for almost a year, and I've been preaching it to everyone. The Venezuela was in on it. Maduro, who we have locked up, is part of it. He started it. Long story, I'll save for another day. I have done it in past episodes and told you about Maduro, China, Russia, all the events that happened in the Middle East to get to our elections. I'll give you an update soon, I promise, so that you can remember again, all right? But just know that this all goes together. And in our 30-30 elections, you better be worried. Because China has been sending women over here for the last 13 years to have babies and then to take their babies back home after they're born. Well, what does that do, you ask? It makes them American citizens. And what does that mean, you ask? Well, that means we're in trouble. Because in 30-30, all those people that they've been sending over here, 100,000 per year. Now remember that, 100,000 per year. And this isn't hearsay. This is accurate. It's a story. It's out there and it is truth. But the news stream doesn't want to let you know about it. Okay? Because these are considered natural born American citizens, but raised by the CCP. They're coming over to vote for the first time at 18 in our election. 100,000. And if you add up the 13 years they've been doing that, folks, we're talking over 500,000 people. The CCP can come in here and put in whoever they want. All they have to do is meddle in our elections again. Have those children raised by the CCP, but American citizens, vote the way they want, and they can take America down. China wasn't just involved in the elections in 2020 with the machines. Now they're involved with their own. And that's even worse. So think about that. This is serious, people. Moving on, I'm going to give you a little history as to why we're even going into Iran. I bet you didn't know this. This goes back to our darling President Obama, who, as far as I'm concerned, is the biggest traitor in our nation's history. He should be locked up and the key should be thrown away. Barack Obama, you're a piece of crap. Okay. Barack Obama gave Iran everything they have today. And you ask how? Well, I'm going to tell you. We're squashing it out of the terrorists, okay? This is what we found. We did what we always do, or what we've been told to do, or what detectives do, or what the FBI, CIA does. And what's that, guys? What do you do when you're in an investigation? What do? You follow the money. We followed the money. That's right. We followed the money. And there's $56 billion that was available to Iran, and accounts overseas that were put on hold. That's right. We froze them. They were frozen because they wouldn't stop making nuclear bombs. Okay. They were frozen and never to be used. Okay. And I'll tell you why in a minute if you can't figure it out on your own. But good old Obama steps in. You know, the Christian Obama. Oh, wait, no, he's Muslim. He lied to all of us. Just like he lied about wanting to be friends with white people, right? We thought he was going to be the president to bring us all together, right? Well, no. He created more of a division in the United States than there ever was before. Personally, I love black people. I don't see color. I see heart. I don't care if you're black, purple, brown, green, orange, yellow. If you're a Martian coming from, 3 millennia away, I'm going to love you. As long as you're good to me, I'm good to you. Our views are our views. You don't impart them on another person. Okay? But good old Obama, yeah, he's going to go in and he's going to be great. He's going to be the savior. He's going to help America, right? It's all about America. The first time he gave him $104 million in cash. In cash. And actually, I think that was his last day in office, people. This is just one of the 3 transactions. That's right, there were 3. This one was in cash. $104 million in cash that he gave on his very last day of being a president. That same day, guess what? He was a hero. He didn't tell anybody that he gave that money. Not then. 4 Americans were released from over there in Iran. And lo and behold, Obama is the savior. Oh, he saved these people. He talked and he did it the right way. Obama. Oh, Obama. What a man. Yeah, what a man. What a man. Let me go a little further. Okay. On a different transaction, Obama let them have $1.3 billion. And I mean billion, not million, dollars. Obama says, this wasn't about the hostages he gave us first amounts of money to. No. And besides all that, well, Iran won't do nuclear weapons. And that's silly talk. So let's just give him, what was that? 1.5, was that 1.5? Let me go back here. 1.3 billion. Let's just give him 1.3 billion in addition. Okay. Yeah, that's right. That's what he gave him. And then on a third transaction, everyone, he gave them, let me just get this here, clear the way for the release of another $6 million in frozen Iranian funds. And you know what he said about it? Yeah, it was for humanitarian work. Yeah, all the money that he's giving him, humanitarian work. Yeah, that's what it was for. And besides, he said it was their money. It was frozen. It was their money to give back. Wow. We couldn't have used that for other things to give to other countries. It wasn't really their money anymore. They've done the whole world wrong, not just America. But good old Barack's going to go in and give him back a total. I don't know how this all works out, but what was left in the bank accounts too of $56 billion. Let me just get that. $56 billion. That's right. And what do you think they did with it? He said it was for humanitarian. This is what he told the United States. And he told Congress, this is for them, for humanitarian efforts. You know, they're cleaning up their country. They're helping their neighbors now. You know, shit, they may even help us. You know, we're going to give them that money. That was their spin. That was their spin. That's right. Along with, you know, it didn't have anything to do with getting the hostages out because Iran was going to use it for good causes. Well, here's my question to you. What do you think they used that for, folks? Well, let me help you here. You know, the good old president that just died? Yeah. What's his name? Ayatollah Ali Khomeini. Yeah, that's him. Yeah. He didn't use that for humanitarian acts. None. Zero. Zip. Zero. Okay. They got wealthy off of it. Sure did. Again. And this is a quote from an interview that was given to him. All right. On national TV. And the quote was, we can use this money any way we see fit. Wherever we need it, we will decide that. That's right. That's what he said. They continued then to build up their nuclear stash. That's what they did. Yep. They built up their nuclear arsenal along with everything else that they had in there. President Trump called in the military to obliterate Iran. Absolute strength of the U.S. military was being seen in Iran, and they deserved it. And that was per Kayleigh McEnany of the Saturday in America show. And she's right. That's right. We saw the strength of America over there, cleaning up a mess that between Biden and between Obama, let them build thousands of bombs and nuclear bombs at that. And when we went in, guess what we found? We found all kinds of bombs, not just being shot at us, but pointed towards nations right beside them, towards their friends, or not friends, or whatever they are to them. It changes from day to day, you know, but nonetheless pointed at them. People they shook hands with and ate supper with during the day and went home and plotted on how to kill that night. Yeah, those Iranians, the ones you don't want to take down. Yeah. The ones that Iranian people begged for the United States to help take down. Okay. Well, I pretty much told you everything about China with Taiwan. That was my thing with China, that little spew, you know, and then how China's infiltrated our voting in the 2020 election and how they're going to be coming back in the 30-30. Trump's exposing that now. Yeah, that's gone to the DOJ. That's breaking news all over today, which I've known for a year, by the way, which I learned in depth, partly from Promethean Action. And I thank those ladies for teaching me and opening my eyes to many things that I didn't see. And it's not about being Democrat, Republican, or in the middle. It's about America, folks. And I'm talking to you from an American standpoint, from a sister, friend, daughter, mother, aunt perspective. Reaching out to you to open your eyes to what's going on with the deep state. Well, here's some good news. Let's put America first, okay? And we need to vote in the Assimilation Act. We've got 3 senators stepping up to the floor, stepping up to do things right. I want to call out Mike Lee, Eric Schmidt, and John Kennedy. They want to replace Thune, and they are absolutely right. Keep it up. We need 2 more senators to step in there to call this man out and to get rid of him. Come on, Republicans. We voted you in. You work for us. We are no longer your bitches. Get out on that floor and do what's right. Prove to us the way we voted was the correct thing to do. Otherwise, we're voting you out. And there's a million bazillion Americans behind me. Yeah, we're fighting a lot of you too, but there's so many more out there that know things are right. And MAGAs, you hold on, because Trump is still for us and he's still doing what's needed. We are fighting 50 to 60 years, maybe even 70 of the deep state coming in. Trump can't change it all in a year and a half. Hang in there. He's going to do some things that tick us off. He's going to run his mouth when he shouldn't. Heck, he's probably going to slap us in the face a couple times. But Trump always comes around, doesn't he? He always ends up right. Really does. Look back on his record. Things he even said when he was young. Yeah. We need to back him because I don't see anybody else around that would do the job that he has done and actually fight for the American people. And if you think it can all be done overnight, why don't you get in there and try it? Like I said, he's fighting 50 to 70 years of the deep state ahead of us all. But thank goodness that we have other people in there. The senator from Tennessee, Tim Burchett, wonderful man. Paula, I don't remember her whole name, Paula Luna. She's amazing too. These are senators that we can count on. Mike Lee, Kennedy, Eric Schmidt. There are some good people in that Congress. Let's help them. Tim Burchett, I watched him on a show the other day, and he was frustrated. I think it was the Benny Show, as a matter of fact. He said that he didn't feel like he was getting anywhere. Felt like he was fighting alone. Let's show him he's not. Tim Burchett, if you ever see this, you're a hero to me. You fought when I know you could have turned around and just said, forget this. Just want to live my life out. I'm proud to call you someone that we have in our Congress. And I'm also proud to call you an American. Keep it up for us. Another thing, just a quick note, J.D. Vance is leading emergency investigations. Folks, we're investigating the blue states, not because they're blue, purple, or orange, or because they're Democrat or Republican. It happens to be the truth. They, meaning the blue states, rigged the 2020 election. There is proof all over the place. If you don't understand it or you don't believe it, go and read about Georgia. Pull up your own investigation. Read truth. The only thing I ask you is to read truth. That means go to places that are neither Republican or Democrat. They tell you the truth, okay? Like I'm trying to bring it to you. You need to know the truth. Whatever side you're on, you need to know the truth. And the truth is we're Americans first, okay? Yeah. Brothers and sisters next, yeah. We're those Americans that fight for each other out on the ground. You know, in the Revolutionary War and the Civil War, we were split for a while, but we sure came back, didn't we? Mm-hmm. Fought in the War of 1812 together. You know, World War I, World War II, Vietnam, Korea, you know, the Gulf War, Afghan War. Brothers and sisters, we don't hate on each other. Let's not let people tear us apart, folks. Americans, that's what we are. Americans. And the last thing I want to bring you is something I find a little funny. More to give you on other things, but we're just going to go here. I was going to tell you about Ukraine and stuff, but we'll talk about that later. We're going to end on kind of a funny note. At least I find it funny. I'm going to bring you some funny news, okay? This came from the Washington Post, everyone. Supreme Leader Mahachadaba, I can't pronounce it, Mahadaba, something like that. Khomeini, the new Khomeini leader, the son of Allah Khomeini that just died. The Iranian new leader may be gay. That's right. His father, Ayatollah Allah Khomeini, feared his suitability to rule the Islamic Republic for this reason. Trump was so surprised and laughed out loud, according to sources in the Washington Post. Others found it in that room hilarious and joined POTUS's reaction and are still laughing to this day. All sources say that this is a true thing. True thing. The nickname that they gave him while he was at his dad's side learning how to be an Ayatollah, I guess, they called him the power behind the robes. That's right. He's been making this has also been told to us that he is still alive, even though we heard that he might have died. Some heard he went to Russia, yada, yada. Well, this is what's been proven. What's been proven. The Washington Post brought this to us. He's been making aggressive sexual overtures to men caring for him because evidently he was hurt in the same first blow up that his dad was at. He was hurt pretty bad, and I guess he's on it says possibly making those statements because of heavy medication. That's what one of the Post sources said. It's not funny that he was hurt. It's not funny that he's gay. It's just funny because, you know what? Their religion that they fight for, that they say Allah wants people. He hates gays. That's what they say of Allah. Okay? Nowhere, if you gay people went over to their country, would you be accepted like you think. They are the radicals. They say the Quran wouldn't accept you. And yet, the Supreme Leader's son turns out to be gay. And yet, he's killing hundreds and thousands of gays. That just doesn't make much sense, does it? Kind of gives you a little laugh on how things come around that go around, right? Yeah, I said that. You know, it's not known for sure by the U.S. spy agencies that the new Ayatollah Khomeini is still alive or not. There's really been no photos to identify him and or verify that his life is or is not. But according to the Washington Post, this is what they gave us. I just thought that that was kind of a funny deal. And again, you know, comedy, right? It's just funny how things in life can seem wrong to one person and yet right to another. And then what you think is wrong with the world comes back into your life. Let's all think about that and be Americans. Just like I said a minute ago, we're all Americans, okay? Doesn't matter who we are or what we are or what kind of lifestyle we live. That's on you. You have to answer to your maker. I have to answer to mine. Just a short little laugh I thought I would give you. Okay. That's all I have today. I'm sorry if this has been a bit long, but I haven't been on here a while and I wanted to feed you the most important things of what is going around and what's true and what's not. So my next podcast will be on Thursday. I just want to thank everyone for joining us today, and I hope that you get something out of these. I do a lot of work, so does my husband. And we want to share these things with you because we are Americans. We love you, America. Stay tough. Keep smiling. Keep working hard. America's coming back. America is what we're fighting for. Thank you, and have a good evening.